Hello viewers, my name is Andre Prananta Prangin, and today I want to present metallurgy, especially chapter 11, tool stills and high-speed stills. This is the main reference that I use for present today. Metallurgy for the non-metallurgists, second edition, edited by Arthur C. Rader. Introduction. Tool stills belong to a special category of steel alloy that have been developed to manufacture the tools, dies, and molds that shape, form, and cut other steel alloys. They are also used to process many non-ferrous metals, and in some cases, non-metals such as machinable ceramics and polymers. Many of these stills may also be used in non-cutting applications that require high temperature stability, high levels of wear resistance, strength, and toughness. 11.1 A brief history. The modern story of tool stills begins with Benjamin Huntsman, a clockmaker from Sheffield, England, who is credited with developing the crucible melting process in 1742. This process made it possible to produce cast steels with carbon levels that fell between those of cast iron and raw iron. These cast steels could be hardened through heat treatment, and in the early 80s they were the best tools available for cutting and machining other metals. 11.2 Modern alloys. Many complex, highly alloyed tool stills and high-speed stills were developed in the early 20th century following the success of Taylor and White. These stills contains, among many other elements, relatively large amount of tungsten, molybdenum, vanadium, manganese, and chromium. 11.2.1 Tool steel properties. Modern tool stills are characterized by an exceptional combination of attainable hardness, red hardness, toughness, and wear resistance. While each of these properties may be considered separately, it is the ability to selectively tailor and combine them that allows these grades of steels to excel in a wide variety of applications. Attainable hardness is the capability to reach a specific level of hardness through heat treatment. Individual tool stills and high-speed steel can be heat treated to achieve a wide range of hardness values that often exceed the hardness capabilities of other types of heat treatable steels. Red hardness, also referred to as hot hardness, is the capability to retain hardness at elevated temperature. The ability of high-speed steels to cut and machine other steels depends critically on the ability to maintain their hardness so that they do not plastically deform under the severe working conditions to which they are exposed in service. Toughness is the ability to resist breakage, chipping, or cracking under impact loading. Toughness may be viewed as the opposite of brittleness. Tool stills and high-speed stills are designed to achieve sufficient levels of toughness for their intended applications. Wear resistance is the ability to resist the effects of abrasions and erosions normally encountered by contact and interactions with outwork materials. give and scale, other tooling, and so forth. Wear resistance as the term is used in this context is primarily dependent on the chemical compositions of the material and the hardness level achieved in the tool piece after heat treatment. 11.2.2 Grade classifications. These are presently more than 40 classifications of high-speed and tool steel alloy. According to the American Iron and Steel Institute, or AISI, when these are compounded by the number of domestic manufacturers, the total number of individual steels in these categories exceeds 150. According to the AISI classification system, each group of steels possessing similar chemical compositions and properties is identified by a capital letter. 11.2.3 Effects of alloying elements. The T-series alloys contain 12 to 20% work with chromium, vanadium, and cobalt as the other major alloying elements. The M-series contains approximately 3.5 to 11.5% molybdenum, with chromium, vanadium, tungsten, and cobalt as the other main alloying elements. All types, whether molybdenum or tungsten, contain approximately 4% of chromium, while the carbon and vanadium contents among different grades vary considerably. As a general rule, as the vanadium content is increased, the carbon content must also be increased to allow the formations of vanadium carbides. The cobalt-containing tungsten types range from T4 through T15 and have from 5 to 12% cobalt. Type T1 contains neither molybdenum nor cobalt. 11.3 Rough tool steels. Rough hot work tool steels. Many manufacturing operations involve punching, shearing, or forming of metal at high temperature. Hot work steels in Group H have been developed to withstand the combinations of heat pressure and abrasions associated with such operations. Group H tool steels usually have medium carbon contents around 0.35 to 0.45% and chromium. Tungsten, molybdenum, and vanadium contents range from 6 to 25%. Rough hot work tool steels. Cold work tool steels, because they do not have the alloy content necessary to make them resistant to softening at elevated temperature, are restricted to applications that do not involve prolonged or repeat heating above 205 to 260 Celsius or 400 to 500 Fahrenheit. Other non-machining rough tool steels. In addition to the hot and cold work steels described, shock-resisting steels, low-alloy special-purpose steels, mold steels, and wear-hardening steels are also used for non-machining applications. 11.4 Effects of alloying and carbides on wear resistance. The wear resistance of high-speed steels and tool steels is strongly dependent on the amount, type, size, shape, and distributions of the alloy carbides that are present in the microstructure. The functions that this garbage serve can be understood through the use of an analogy. 11.5 Heat treating high-speed and tool stills. High-speed and tool stills intended for heat treating are normally prepared in a relatively soft conditions with minimum hardness and maximum ductility, known as a spheroidized annealed conditions. The annealing practice used to achieve these conditions produce a relatively uniform distribution of the alloy garbage within the microstructure. The more difficult it is for this garbage to dissolve, the hotter one can heat the stills and still retain small garbage in the matrix. But same temperature range depending on its chemical compositions and microstructure. Each type of garbage exhibits a different level of thermal stability. 11.6 Powder metallurgy, tool stills. As a result of pronounced ingot segregations, conventional tool stills and high-speed stills can contain a somewhat coarse, non-uniform microstructure accompanied by relatively low transverse toughness properties. As this example demonstrates, the severity of ingot segregations can be minimized through the applications of proper hot working reductions practice, but it cannot be eliminated completely in traditional ingot casting operations. 11.7 Cutting tool coatings. In several cutting and machining applications used in industry, it is not uncommon to surface straight high-speed stills and tool stills with specialized coatings to reduce frictional contact, reduce thermal conductivity, and improve wear resistance. These hard wear resistant surface coatings are often used as a means of improving tool life. Important considerations when selecting a surface treatment are substrate materials, coating process temperature, coating thickness, coating hardness, and the material to be machined. Multi-layer coatings have also become commonplace, some of them proprietary to their suppliers. The basic theory underlying the use of multiple coatings layers is that each layer has its own functions. One layer may have high hardness, another chemical wear resistance, and another oxidation resistance. Materials used to make up the various layers of a multi-layer coating depending on the applications. That's all for me to present chapters 11 about tool stills and high-speed stills. Thank you very much.